If you ask me to pick one thing to take away from the Dune Awakening beta weekend and have that thing be my favorite part of the game, it would be the base building. So, obviously, I'm a huge fan of the Dune IP. I love the storyline. I've loved the book since I was a kid. I've talked about that in multiple videos. I've loved all the film versions, the Sci Fi Channel miniseries, and I love the story of Dune Awakening that's been presented so far. But it is the base building that is the thing that I see being the thing that is going to keep me playing this game for many, many, many dozens of hours beyond whatever playtime I get completing the main storyline. Because let's face it, as someone who is primarily a story based player, if you look at the 8,000 videos on my channel, I gravitate towards a single style of gameplay, generally speaking, and that is RPGs, story based RPGs. I'm a huge fan of cutscenes, motion capture, performance capture. I like cutscenes and dialogue and narration and romances and companion characters. That's what drives me is the RPG aspect, the role playing component, getting into the heads of characters, playing different stories, whether it's, you know, the role of a character or having a party of characters. But secondary to that is housing. And if you've ever gone back and gone through like my EverQuest 2 playlist, my Lord of the Rings Online playlist, my Star Wars The Old Republic playlist, I've spent a lot of time building up my personal houses in those games because I just love housing. It's one of my favorite aspects of games once I've completed the story. And for live service products, I've always spent hundreds of hours um, fleshing out, if given the opportunity, multiple different homes. Now, with Dune Awakening, we're given the option of not only owning homes, but also crafting homes. Now, Enshrouded, when I played Enshrouded, I was playing it in a multiplayer setting with friends, and I was mostly in the harvesting side of things. I didn't spend too much time base building in that game because when I was playing that game, they didn't have all the cool things that they have today. Like if you go look at Enshrouded today, if I was playing Enshrouded today versus when I played it 2 years ago, they've added like animals and all these other things. By the way, this is the structure that I built on day 4. This is not the final structure. This is what I was working on um, for the last half of the fourth stream and then the first half of the fifth stream. I ended up building a garage down here. This is from my day 4 streaming. Anyway, the tools that we've been given so far with Dune Awakening are quite phenomenal. What I really love is that it's kind of like instead of like in No Man's Sky when you place structures, it ends up just eating away at the local environment. But here, like when you build these pillars and stuff, it builds into the local environment. I don't know if you guys got a chance to check out the video that Funcom put out for I think it was live stream number 3. They were showcasing the verticality. So when you make a land claim, it's like this, but you aren't um, relegated to only this. You can go up, also down. So if like you go up on top of a cliff and say, I want to make a base that juts out over the edge of this cliff, you're claiming everything in that vertical space. So you can go up or down. And I think that's really, really cool. And it works in with the local environment. So you're not destroying the local environment, but your buildings are melding in with it. Um, I am not deep into Conan Exiles because I was doing other things when that game came out, and I've only ever dabbled in it after the fact. Once I found out that this game was coming from Funcom, I went, oh, I should probably go get up to speed on Conan Exiles to understand a little bit about what the type of games that Funcom makes. And one of the things that surprised me coming into Conan Exiles, years after the launch of the game, because I think I first played it, was it last year or the year before? It might have been 2 years ago. Um, I was surprised because I went to the social media pages and by the way, there's some artifacting going on from a crappy internet connection, it looks like, from my stream. Yeah, that was just from. I live in the boonies. Sometimes there's bad internet. Let me see if I can skip ahead because that looks like poo poo. Um, Anyway, I was blown away on the social media channels for Conan Exiles because of how many different types of building sets there are and all the cool structures people had built. And when Funcom was showing this off in live stream number 3, they showed off just with the base game for Dune Awakening how many building sets are already in the game. So I built this structure using the basic Chome foundational set, but then there's like a commercial Chome set that you also had access to in the beta, and then beyond that there's other sets, and then there's the faction sets for the Atreides and the Harkonnen. I'm going Atreides, by the way. Um, and they showed off in that live stream 3, and I've got a reaction video up to that one, which is why I'm not showcasing it here today, because I've already done a reaction video today. It's like a 45-minute long video. But they were showing off the vertical aspects of base building when people get access to all of the different building structures that are in this game. The thing of it is it's going to take a lot of time to gather the resources. Like just this here, this took me 2 streams and about 8 hours of streaming, more or less, like around 8 hours of streaming to put all this together the way it ended up long term. And that was a lot of that was spent harvesting because I had to get a ton of granite and a ton of scavenged metal together to build the exteriors and the interior decoration that I ended up doing for the last couple of hours of the build. And I could see that as you get in higher tiers, you're getting higher tiers of materials, and you're going out there and doing these adventures where you're going on scavenging runs and then bringing that back to your home base. And that is above and beyond the actual crafting stations that you're building for your blood refineries, your cisterns, your wind harvesters, the shields that you need, and then getting into the vehicles that you're building, and then a place to store those vehicles with your garages and having landing platforms for your ornithopters, and then your shield entries to get in and out. There is so much going on with the base building in this game that I think, for me, at the end of the day, if you take away the story and the narrative and the survival components of the game, all of which are fun and are going to provide me with however many dozens of hours of gameplay there is in the main storyline and the main campaign. Quick commercial break, everyone, to celebrate and give thanks to all of these amazing people who keep me on the air full time. Really appreciate the support. All you got to do is join as a member. You get access to private videos. You can also do super thanks on any upload or super chats and stickers on any live stream or premiere you see. And beyond that, don't forget we're multi-streaming over on Twitch now, so you can support over there as well. Thanks so much to everybody. Let's get back to the video at hand. Base building is what I think is my favorite activity, or the thing that I loved the most about the beta weekend. And I have traditionally, like I said, I've traditionally always ever held this over until after I was finished with the main storyline. But because the way that the building is so integral to the survival component of this game, of like needing to have bases in different zones as you go through the tiers, I think it's really cool to have like stepping stones, having bases set up in different areas. But also, I love the fact that the way the permission system works in this game, that you could also kind of do it like a like No Man's Sky. Someone was saying, as an example, with their base, they had the interior all closed off, but the exterior they had a water cistern and like a garage that was open to the public during the beta weekend, so that players could cruise on by with their bikes, find a quick shelter from the storm or the sun or whatever, and also find a cistern there that they could get some water out of and top up. And I was like, that's a really cool aspect of the Dune Awakening experience, is that the permissions aren't just based on the actual structure. It's the various structures that you have. It's the doors of the structures. It's the individual crafting stations on the structures. So you could literally set it up to where, as an example, the door will open for anybody. So the public can come into your home, but no one can use the crafting station unless they're on your friends list, or unless they're guild members, or nobody can use your vehicles unless you give them specific permissions to use your vehicles. So I think that that permission system combined with the physical building is going to manifest itself in some really fun ways, where people are going to be able to have these community builds, where they're either having people come in and help them build structures. You'll have guilds building structures together. The way that I plan on doing it is I will have a main base that will be sort of the intermediate thing that I'm going to build while I'm out there adventuring through the main game. And as I get up and get my max faction with the Atreides and I get access to that Atreides faction castle, that'll be the one that I end up spending a lot of time on. And that'll be something special that I'll probably spend a couple of months building. Might take longer than that, I don't know. And then that one will get end up getting opened to the public to come in and use as the crafting stations, take screenshots and everything else, which is what I did with my No Man's Sky home and my No Man's Sky planets because I found some really cool um, paradise planets that we shared off in the streams. So I am looking forward to the crafting and base building in Dune Awakening more than anything else right now. Apart from the story, story is always the number one drive for me. But this base building stuff has got me hooked. What are your favorite aspects of Dune Awakening so far? Let me know in the comments below. Like, subscribe, hit that bell icon so you never miss an update, and I'll see everybody tomorrow morning for the next stream, which kicks off every single day at around 5 a.m. Central. And I cannot wait to play Dune Awakening with all of you come June. See you then, guys.